Hi, it's Chris Coney. I'm coming at you again with another informative video on internet marketing concepts. And today, what I want to talk about is this question in front of us. What's the best way to move SEO performance and rankings from one website to another? Now, there are a number of circumstances that you might be in when you want to do this. The most common one is if you are overhauling your website. By that I mean you've had one for a little while and you think it's a bit tired and it could do with a refresh, and you've had some company or yourself build a brand new one and it's ready to go live. Now, there's two possibilities there. One is that you most likely you're going to launch the new website on the same web address as your old one, so you're literally going to replace your current website. Another possibility might be that you're going to just keep your current domain name and you're going to launch the new website on a new domain name, right? And then in that circumstance you want to point or move all of the SEO performance from the old web address to the new one to make sure it all moves over. So what I'm going to talk about today covers pretty much all the circumstances you could possibly be in. So the most important thing to consider here is that we've got 3 web pages, say, on a website. The most important consideration is that the search engines need a way to uniquely identify a web page. And the title isn't going to do you any good, and the text isn't going to do you any good, and the images, because those things are transient. They can change very, very easily if you've got a content management system or something like that. So the most reliable thing about a web page that will identify as unique, so to differentiate one web page from another, is its web address, right? So if this example, we've got 3 pages. Page number 1, you see its address here is company.co.uk/page1.php. And then we've got page 2 and page 3, okay? All well and good. And it's this address that the search engines use to uniquely identify this page and its contents. So it rewards search engine rankings and trust to the web address based on what it finds at the page itself, but it's based on the actual address. So say when we launch the new website, look what's happened. Say it's based on a more updated technology. Say you move agencies, you go move from one web design company and you decide to get another one to overhaul your website for you. The chances are they're not going to be using identical technologies. And also, if you're making a significant overhaul to your website and you're putting lots of new content on there, then the chances are you're going to describe it in a different way. You're going to improve the layout and the way that the site navigates and the menu structure. So even the names of the pages probably aren't going to be the same. So in this circumstance, the technology of the website has changed, which we can see here based on the fact that it's not a PHP site anymore, it's an ASPX site. And the page names have changed as well. So this is new page 1.asp. So it's completely different, even though it's going to be the same domain name. Now you see it still says page 1, 2, and 3, but this might be your products page, services page, and contact page, say. So even though you're keeping those 3 pages, you're keeping a products page, you're keeping a service page, and you're keeping a contact page, and you just put different content on there, they've still got different web addresses when you launch the new website. So what's going to happen is that the indexes inside Google's in the Google index, the addresses in the Google index are going to still be pointing to your old website. So it's these little indexes that come up in the search results, which you'll see in a second. So if someone were to click on an existing search result that points to an old address, then the page isn't going to be there anymore after you've launched your website, even though there is actually a page on your site that relates to that content. It's the address that's changed. So until the index is updated in Google's database, it's not going to lead anywhere. So let me give you a practical example of this. This is one of my clients that we recently launched a new website for. And it, just like in the circumstance I just described, it's based on an entirely different technology to the old website, and we radically overhauled the content and we changed all the page names and rearranged everything to make it far easier to navigate and a more positive user experience. And it's at the same web address, so that what I just described was going to happen to this website unless we took steps to make sure the transition was smooth. Now what I've done here is I've gone to the Google search engine and I've typed into the search box the word site, S-I-T-E, colon, and then the smilelinks.co.uk domain name. And this will show you inside Google's index. It'll show you, right, I'm asking Google, show me all of the web pages that you've got an index for. So, and here they all are. So you get the page title. The bit we're interested in today is this bit, the web address, because we know that this is what the index is tied to. What I'm going to look for is the old website was just a plain HTML website. So here we go. So we've got smilelinks.co.uk and there's an info37.html. So that's one of the old web pages. So if I click on that, because we've done the transition correctly, it actually takes us to the brand new loose teeth page. So back again, you saw in the search results that we had a page that was loose teeth page, and it pointed to loose teeth /info37.html. But now when we go to that page, it's been properly redirected to the what's your problem / loose or missing teeth page. Okay, now that won't happen automatically. We've taken specific steps so that happens. And actually, this site's been it's been overhauled and relaunched for 2 or 3 weeks now. So you'll see that a lot of these indexes have actually been replaced with the new page names. But so that's fine. We don't need the transition stuff anymore. But during the changeover, we needed to make steps to make sure that it did happen properly. Okay, now I'm going to show you how this was achieved. There's more than one way of doing this, and depending on the specific way your old website was set up, depends on the way you would do it. But the one I'm going to show you is fairly universal. So don't get scared. I'm going to put this notepad, this text document up. Now, if you're non-technical, you might not get what this means, but I will make it as easy as possible. This is what's called a htaccess file, and what we've done with it here, the only bit we're interested in, is that we've done. You see on the file left, all these lines are instructions basically, and they start with the word redirect and then 301. So whenever there's an error, or whenever a computer or a server tries to visit a web page that doesn't exist, there are a number of error codes that the server at the other end will respond with, depending on what the problem is. So if it's just a like a file not found, if you've seen those pages before, if you click on a say a PDF link in the search results and that PDF is no longer there, the other server will often respond with a 404 error. So it says 404, file not found, don't know what to do with you. So that's one code number. But what we want to do, we want to engineer it so that when one of the old pages is requested, a specific response is given. So we're going to use a 301 redirect, as you can see here, redirect 301. Now 301 translated into English means this page has permanently moved. Okay, there's lots of other types of redirects, but we're talking about moving over the search engine trust from old web addresses to new web addresses. So that's why we want to use a 301 redirect to tell the search engines unequivocally the old page is permanently moved. Okay, so in the htaccess file we've got all of these. It's quite difficult to see here. Let me just move it around a bit. So each line says redirect 301, and then it has the old page address, a space, and then the new page address. So we're saying redirect, this page here has permanently moved to this address. So you can see here we've got the old page, which was can't smile, won't smile, info.html, whatever it was, and it's now moved to what's your problem / no smile confidence. And then we've done that for each and every page on the old site. Right, let me just close that down. Now let's move over to how we planned this. So this is an Excel file. It's a spreadsheet that we created in preparation for relaunching the site. And as you can see here, we've got a column that's called current site, and it lists all the old web addresses. And then we've got another column called new site, where we've entered each and every new location. So we're saying what we got here. We've got the Prime of Life Smiles page is now called the treatments page, and the black or silver fillings page is now got its own new address. And so we've manually gone through and said this page has moved here, this page has moved here, this is the new address, this is the new address, this is the new address, and so on. So this is the planning stage, right? And then once we've gone to this level, we've gone through all the web addresses and we've specified their new location. Then we can put it all into a htaccess file, like I've just showed. Now you can be lazy with this if you want. What we could have done is just listed all of the old web page addresses and then done this. Just said, right, bugger it, send them all to the home page. Now you can do that if you want to, but that's no way to ensure a positive user experience, especially considering if it's like, well, I just picked out the black and silver fillings page there, especially since Google's going to show that page in the search results when someone searches for something like black and silver fillings, right? Now if we relaunch the site with that redirect and they do a search for black and silver fillings and click on the site in the search results, then it's going to put them on the home page. Now they didn't ask for the home page. They're then going to have to click around the website and figure out where the new black and silver filling page is, and that's just not going to be a positive user experience. You're forcing them to click on more links than is necessary, right? It's our responsibility to ensure a positive user experience. So you can be lazy with it and just send them all to the home page if you like, but we're not like that as a company. We like to develop high quality solutions, so we went through the painstaking process of specifying each and every individual page and where it's moved to. And then this time, now what will happen is that if someone searches for black and silver fillings, when the new website is launched, it will actually land them or bring up the new black and silver fillings page. So the person doing the search, the prospective customer, doesn't know the difference. Their experience is absolutely consistent. And although they might not see it, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to make sure that happens. I mean, it's like anything, you go to a restaurant, you just sit down and you just see a waitress or waiter go into the kitchen every now and again and come out with some food, and at the time you don't appreciate what's going on behind the scenes to make that very simple transaction. You say, I'll have the filet mignon, and then that's it. She goes away and she comes back with it. But there's all that stuff going on, the chef's sweating away and cooking all the people's meals that you just don't appreciate, and it's the same with this. So I can hear the next question. All right, Chris, how the hell do I get this list of old web addresses? How the hell do I do that? Two ways you can do this. Two nice little tools you can use. Let me just find them here. One is the Soft Plus G-Site crawler. What this will do, this will act like the Google search bot and will visit your old website and then pick out all of the old web addresses into a file for you. The other way of doing it is to use this tool that's been around for quite a while. It's the Xenu Link Sleuth, which what it's for, this thing, is to go to your website and click on all your links to make sure that none of them are missing. So prior to launching the new site, you could run this, which will then it will generate a HTML file which will have a list of all your old links, which you can then copy and paste into this spreadsheet. So that will give you this column. Then it's simply a case of deciding whether you're not going to be lazy and going through and manually specifying each of the new web addresses, and then creating your htaccess file from that. And that's it. Once you've done that, you should achieve the example that I gave earlier, which is that the old indexes will still be there, yet when you click on them, they will go to the new web address. Now over time, over, I don't know, a week or a month or so after the new website goes live, Google will recognize that the web addresses have changed, and they will actually replace the old indexes with new ones. So once that process is complete, then you won't actually need the 301 redirects anymore, but it saves all hell breaking loose in the meantime. So hopefully that's been useful. If there are any areas of clarification, or if it got too technical in places and you would like any assistance, then please contact me by going to uprightsolutions.co.uk. Thanks for now.